Have you ever felt like a lighthouse in the middle of a chaotic sea, constantly rescuing lost ships only to receive back frustration and depletion? Helping others is a beautiful human instinct, but sometimes that kindness becomes a double-edged sword. There are certain types of people where the more you help, the deeper you get pulled into a vortex of chaos and negativity. They don't just drag you down, they turn your life into a tangled mess of problems. Do you know who these 7 dangerous types of people are? The scariest part is that some of them may be present in your life right now, and you might not even realize it. Keep watching this video, and we promise we'll help you clearly identify each type of person and how to escape that vicious cycle. Because sometimes, knowing when to say no is the best way to help yourself. 1. The chronic complainer and blamer. Do you ever feel like you're being sucked into someone else's whirlwind of negativity? Every time you meet them, you have to listen to endless complaints, blaming life, circumstances, and everything around them, but see no change whatsoever. Oh, it's not easy to bear all that negativity, is it? If you're not careful, you'll end up as the one enduring instead of helping, and eventually you'll feel drained, losing your own energy. These people aren't looking for solutions. They just need an emotional garbage can to dump all their dissatisfaction and frustration into. They don't truly want to change. They just want you to listen and sympathize. And no matter how hard you try, they won't change. They'll just keep repeating their complaining cycle. So, are you getting caught up in that spiral? Do you realize that instead of helping them, you're being drained of your own energy? How dangerous will it be if you don't realize this soon? You'll slowly start feeling tired and anxious. You'll see your mood being affected by their negativity, and that's exactly the trap. Oh, it really isn't easy to keep absorbing all of this without seeing any change. So, what can you do to avoid getting sucked into that whirlpool? Remember one important thing. You absolutely have the right to set boundaries. You don't need to become the one who absorbs all the negative emotions from others, especially when they're not willing to change. Listen, but don't let them take over your space. Spend time for yourself and only help when they truly want to change. Don't let others drag you into their hopeless life. A quote from Stoic philosophy by Marcus Aurelius that I think you'll find helpful. If you want to avoid being pulled down by life's storms, don't let yourself get swept up in others' complaints and blame. This quote reminds us that life will always have challenges, and others may bring negative emotions. However, we shouldn't let these emotions affect us. To do this, you need to realize that participating in complaining stories not only won't help you, but it'll also drain your energy and peace. So, are you ready? Ready to stop helping those who always blame but never change? Start today, because you deserve a positive life that isn't affected by those who live in negativity. 2. The insecure person who doesn't want to change. Have you ever felt like you were pulling someone out of a deep hole, but they kept pushing you out and sinking further into the darkness? This happens when these people aren't lacking in ability, but in self-belief. No matter what advice you give, they'll always find a way to reject it. No, that's not for me, or I've tried it, and nothing changed, or even they'll tell you, I don't deserve it. Does this feeling of frustration sound familiar to you? Why is this happening? It's simple. They're afraid of change. These people aren't lacking ability, but they lack belief in their own capacity to change. This is one of the deepest self-protective mechanisms in human psychology. Fear of failure and feeling safe in familiarity, even if that familiarity is terrible. And you, no matter how hard you try, get caught in their negative spiral. This is a reality you need to recognize. You can't change someone if they're not ready to change. So, what should you do in this situation? First, Realize that you can't save them if they're not ready to change. Don't keep wasting time and energy on a battle you can't win. The question you need to ask yourself is, am I continuing a journey with no destination? Change only begins when the person themselves realizes they need to change. You can't force them, but you can help them see the need for change by guiding them to professionals like a therapist. When they find the right support, they might begin to change voluntarily. There's a famous quote from Epictetus that I deeply agree with. We cannot change things outside of our control, but we can decide how we react to them. This quote reminds us that you can't change others, but you absolutely can change how you react to them. You need to know when to let go. Not every battle is yours to fight. I once had a close friend who was very talented, but always insecure about himself. Every time I advised him to try a new job or face a new challenge, he would reply, "No, I can't do it." Although I encouraged him a lot, all my efforts were in vain. After a while, I realized I couldn't help him if he didn't want to change. Eventually, I advised him to seek a counselor. After getting the right help, he gradually opened up and began to explore new opportunities. But that was the result of his own change, not mine. Understand that you can't change others, but you can change how you face them. Don't let their negativity affect your life. Sometimes people need to decide to change on their own, and you must respect that choice. Set boundaries for yourself, protect your inner peace, and if they don't want to change, let them find their own way. Change only truly happens when people are ready. You can't force someone to change, but you can open the path for them. Just remember, you can't do it for them. You can only create an opportunity for them to realize it. 3. The drama creator. Have you ever noticed that whenever you're around these people, your mood seems to get sucked into a pointless battle, a never-ending argument? These individuals are experts at creating tense situations, and they always want you to be a part of their drama. Small things suddenly turn into disasters, and don't forget, they'll pull you into it if you're not careful. Maybe you've experienced this feeling. Their issues have nothing to do with me, so why do I feel like the world is crashing down around me because of them? This isn't by accident. In fact, drama creators are people who live in worlds full of conflict, where they complicate everything, make things bigger just to feel special. But is that really necessary for you? So the question is, do you really need to get involved in their fight? From a Stoic perspective, the answer is very simple. No. These people are not your problem, and you don't need to let them control your emotions. Stoic philosophy, with its profound teachings, emphasizes that don't pay attention to those who stir up trouble. They're not your problem, and you don't have to get involved in their conflicts. So, when someone starts telling a story or drags you into an argument that doesn't matter, stand firm. Your emotions and peace of mind are priceless, and no one has the right to take them from you. Learn to say no. Learn to refuse meaningless things. You can choose not to participate in their drama without feeling guilty. The easiest way to avoid getting caught up in drama is to set clear boundaries with these people. Don't hesitate to say that you don't care about those conflicts. Keep your mind pure. Don't let it be tainted by things that aren't worth it. So, what will you do? Will you continue allowing others to drag you into these meaningless games, or will you keep your peace for yourself? If you find this helpful, don't forget to hit like and share this video. Surely someone in your circle needs to hear this to avoid unnecessary drama. 4. The control addict. Do you ever feel like you're stuck in your own life, where every decision you make is controlled by someone else? Surely no one wants to live under the shadow of people who always try to manipulate and direct them, right? Well, Control addicts are the type of people you'll always have to follow, and if not, you'll face criticism and blame. So what's the real consequence? It's that your life slowly loses its freedom and self-control, and you're left feeling drained and stressed, as if you're living for others, not for yourself. But you can change that today. Remember the words of Marcus Aurelius: "Don't let others disturb you. Don't let things beyond your control pull you into meaningless arguments." This is the golden rule of Stoic philosophy. Not everything in life should be affected by others, and you don't need to engage in battles you can't win. So, what should you do to break free from the control addict's grip? First, learn to say no. That's right. Start with a simple yet powerful word: no. There will surely be times when you feel guilty for refusing someone's request, but it's your right. You don't have to please everyone. Imagine the relief of not having to carry other people's responsibilities all the time. Saying no isn't a sign of disrespect. It's a way of respecting yourself. Second, set firm boundaries. When you know your limits, those around you will no longer easily invade your space and decision-making rights. Don't let others force you to change for their reasons. Setting boundaries is how you protect your freedom and peace in your own life. Third, be steadfast in your decisions. There may be times when you feel lonely or pressured to change your mind, but consistency is key. When you stand firm, you not only protect yourself, but also send a strong message that you're not easily manipulated. Control addicts can only manipulate you if you let them. But when you are firm, they will have to respect you. Remember this: your life is yours. Don't let others decide for you. Don't let them make you feel insecure or uncertain. You have the right to live freely, to do the things you love without worrying about pleasing others. Don't forget to like and share it with those you care about. Maybe someone in your life needs a little advice to break free from controlling relationships and reclaim their power. 5. The ungrateful person. One of the types of people who will bring stagnation and chaos into your life is the ungrateful ones. They are the people you've helped many times, sacrificed time, effort, and even valuable things from your own life. But in the end, you never receive the recognition or gratitude you deserve. You may help them through difficult times, but they fail to see the value of your help. And gradually, you'll realize that you've become an endless energy source that never gets anything back. When you don't receive gratitude from the people you've helped, feeling used is inevitable. You start to feel exhausted, drained, and abandoned. The silence instead of gratitude, the lack of respect instead of appreciation, can make you lose trust in those around you. Every act of help has value, but when the receiver fails to see it, you start to feel like everything you give has no meaning. Look at the example of Judas Iscariot, one of the 12 apostles of Jesus Christ, to better understand the harm of ingratitude. Jesus entrusted Judas with leadership and great opportunities to serve the community. However, despite being helped and trusted, Judas betrayed the very one who saved him, not only hurting Jesus, but also leading himself down a path of destruction. He failed to appreciate what he had received, leading to a tragic and sinful end. Similarly, in life, ungrateful people can destroy all the good relationships you have. You may help them countless times, but they only take and never give back, never acknowledging or valuing what you've done. But not everyone is like that. We can choose those who truly appreciate and value our help, and offer help only when we feel it is worthwhile. The Stoic philosophy shared by Marcus Aurelius may be the key to maintaining inner peace. He teaches, "Do not let the behavior of others disturb your inner peace." If you do not receive gratitude, it does not mean you need to change yourself or feel hurt. Instead, You need to learn to be grateful to yourself and only help those who truly deserve your help. Life becomes much easier when you know how to choose who you will help and who deserves your attention. We are not infinite resources, and do not let ungrateful people drain your value and energy. Learn to protect your own peace and only offer help to those who truly appreciate it. 6. The person who tries to control you with guilt. Have you ever encountered someone where, every time you don't follow their requests, you feel like you've done something wrong, or even feel guilty? This is one of the clear signs of those who use guilt to control you. These people will make you feel like you have no right to refuse them, even if their request is unreasonable or doesn't suit you. They often say things that make it impossible for you not to comply, like, "I can't be alone right now. I won't be able to handle it." Or, "If you don't help me, I don't know what I'll do." These words, although they seem mild, can make you feel guilty and pressured to fulfill their request, even when you don't want to. What's especially troubling is that these people are usually skilled at exploiting your weaknesses. They know exactly when and how to make you feel responsible or insecure about what you might lack if you don't help them. They may use their own vulnerability to apply mental pressure, saying things like, "Only you understand me," or "You're the only one I trust." This makes you feel like you are the only one who can save the situation, creating an invisible burden. Over time, this emotional manipulation can have serious consequences. At first, you might think that helping once is no big deal, but things won't stop there. The guilt will slowly dominate, and you will find yourself overextending to meet their needs, even neglecting your own. This leads to unhealthy dependency, causing you to lose independence in both thought and action. You will gradually feel like you are living to please others rather than living for yourself. Moreover, this situation can lead to emotional and mental exhaustion. The constant stress will wear you out, draining your energy and potentially causing mental health issues such as depression or anxiety. You will start to feel like you can't escape this vicious cycle because you cannot say no without feeling guilty. This emotional and mental dependency will turn you into the victim in the relationship, while the other person becomes the invisible controller. The only way to break free from this manipulation is to recognize the signs and set clear boundaries. Do not let guilt control your actions. Remember that you have the right to refuse, and refusal doesn't mean you don't care about others. What's important is learning to protect your own emotional and mental safety. Once you recognize this manipulation, don't hesitate to refuse or demand that others respect your independence. As Marcus Aurelius said, "We cannot control the actions of others, but we can control our responses." Learn to stand firm in the face of pressure and live for yourself, not for the unreasonable demands of others. If you find this lesson helpful, don't forget to share this video with those around you and hit the subscribe button to receive more helpful tips to help you live stronger every day. And next, we will continue with a type of person who might be considered the most dangerous of all those we've seen so far. So stay tuned. 7. The exploiter of kindness. The exploiter of kindness is one of the most dangerous types of people you can encounter in life. Have you ever encountered someone who only shows up when they need help? They never reach out when things are going well, only when they're in trouble. You try to help them as much as you can, but when everything is fine, they disappear without showing any gratitude. How does that feel? You do everything for them, but in return, you get nothing but silence and indifference. Exploiters of kindness are often very skilled. They know how to make a good impression and convince you that they truly need help. But when things are fine, they vanish without giving anything in return. This not only makes you feel used, but it also makes you question all relationships. You give without receiving, and that's the unfairness of a one-sided relationship. This type of relationship is dangerous because it will physically and mentally exhaust you. You give too much and never get anything back. The fatigue from such relationships can make you lose trust in genuinely sincere relationships. You will start wondering if anyone is truly willing to help you without expecting something in return. If you recognize that you are being exploited, it's time to set boundaries. Don't let yourself become a tool for those who only come to you when they need you. Learn to say no when necessary. And don't forget that you deserve respect and affection from those around you. The story of Cleopatra VII, the last queen of Egypt, is a perfect example of being exploited. Cleopatra was known for her political skill and her ability to maintain power. But in political relationships, she was also a victim of exploitation. Cleopatra helped Julius Caesar and Mark Antony with military and resources to strengthen their power. But when she encountered difficulties, neither of them supported her and left her to face powerful enemies like Octavian. Despite being a powerful woman, Cleopatra had to pay a heavy price for trusting those who only took advantage of her help. This story teaches us something important. Sometimes our kindness is exploited in one-sided relationships, and this can lead to our downfall if we don't know how to protect ourselves. In reality, have you ever felt drained after being exploited for too long? Stop before it's too late. Don't let these people control you anymore, and don't let them make you lose faith in human kindness. You absolutely deserve to be treated better. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share it with your friends. They may need to realize this soon too.